Hey everyone, what's up? Josh here, and today looks like I went live a little bit early. That's all right. Today I'm trying to do some bug fixes, which would have been smart for me to do that before the live stream, right? So give me just a few minutes here. Listen to some very chill. Actually, this is kind of heavy, honestly. Um, Listen to some musics while I try and get the window capture back up and running. Let's add an existing air droid. Boom. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, remove it. So frustrating. This is frustrating. Let me make sure. All right, yeah, it's still. Oh, I may have minimized it. Let's try that one more time. Let's add air droid. No, still not working. Let's add a new window capture. We'll call this air droid 2. I don't know why that actually worked, but it did. So I'm gonna roll with it. Let's move that underneath our little overlay. There we go. And we will get this bad boy resized the right way. I'm just happy that things seem to be working. I'm not gonna jinx it. Things are things and stuff. So if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. How's it going? All of that funness. I guess my aspect ratio is, I don't know. Is it lined up? There we go. Lined up good enough. And my ugly mug is a little bit in the way there. Um, haven't even announced that I'm going live on the socials, so I'm really just getting a slow start today. That's fine with me. Um, I don't even have my references pulled up for this or anything. My whole mantra this morning has been no hurry, no pause, no hurry, no pause. Just trying to get the kids to the places they need to be and get me to the place I need to be, which is, as always, the tattoo studio. This is my little sanctuary. Sorry, my nose is running allergens this year. Don't know what to do, and we've been having crazy swings in the weather lately. I mean, absolutely insane swings in the weather in Kentucky. Oh, yeah, looks like the aspect ratio is just like the tiniest smidge off on my little overlay wood background thingamabob. Oh, recommended bit rate. Am I losing frames? No. I've got a good bit. I don't know. YouTube is like warning me about things that make no sense to me. Um, alright. Let us get to the Book of Faces. I'll just do a super quick blast. Man, have you ever had one of those weeks where just like none of your technology seems to be working right? That has been me since last Tuesday. Um, my mouse won't connect to my laptop. I mean, it will if I like restart my laptop, but I got here a little late. I just don't have time. Okay, Facebook's now. Bad computer. Like Facebook wasn't working, and then as soon as I hit refresh, it was like, oh, here I am. There I go again. Hope everyone's been having a good time with life and stuff. What am I? All right, live streaming. Let us share the link. Video link, copy. I'm live right now. Sorry for the late post. Boom. Next. Post it. Yeah, I've got my headphones and stuff on today too, so I'm really, really in the music today. Super happy about that. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let me pull up my references, and then I'll get to painting. So last week I wasn't able to actually show hardly anything that I did. Um, because I was having issues with the AirDroid cast software. So I um, so I upgraded to their paid plan so that I could USB it. That's not working at all. So I am now going to unupgrade because I finally got the like actual AirDroid casting software to work again. Uh, so that's what I'm going with, I guess. Okay. So there are a couple of things that I really want to do. Like, sounds weird, but the whole point of this was to be like loose and expressive, and I keep tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening. So today I'm just gonna mess stuff up, like purposefully mess stuff up, because it's not as energetic as I want it to feel. It's too polished and correct, and I want it to feel like more of an impressionist piece. I'm about to sneeze because it's never just one. Um, but I want this to be more loose and impressionist and wild and fun and like she's at a concert, she's screaming and rejoicing, and this is way too tame. Um, so I'm gonna mess some stuff up today. Like I'm just gonna do a new layer on top of everything. Like I was thinking, oh, I need to get the anatomy of the hands right. I need to like keep refining this and make it more accurate. But what I really, the original idea that I had was a lot of energy, a lot of expressiveness. I think the hair is one of the few areas where I'm going to be like, okay, this is a little more intentional. Uh, I kind of like the direction the hair has headed in anyway, so I'm going to leave the hair as it is and maybe add a little in the background expressiveness to the hair, but for her face, for her clothing, for her skin, I'm just going to start putting blobs down, wild colors, and see what we've got. Um, all right, rant done. I really want people to join in like they did last week. That was frickin' awesome. I said frickin', not an actual word. Um, yeah. So join in again. I want to have a good conversation. Please. Let's unhook that and figure out where I want to start. Oh, I made a new so made a drawing wedge, which is like a hard round, except it's a triangle. And the only adjustment on it is opacity. And then I made a textured one. Oh, it's very small. Then I made a textured one because I really wanted some texture. And that's what I'm going to use today is just this textured hard round. And I do still want to avoid like straight white and straight black, but it doesn't mean I don't want to get like close. I'm gonna flip this just so I get a new look at what I'm trying to paint on here. And layer. Let's see. Wow. No, all right, we've got some mellow music now. Maybe I'll take some of these brighter colors here, paint them just randomly in. I've got this textured brush. What am I holding back on the textured brush for? Like I can use it as a stamp brush even. There's some frills, punk frills. I don't care if it's accurate. Like I just want to have Oversaturate and lighten that background. That background color into the foreground. Already feeling a lot stronger about it. Awesome. I like trying to pull in existing colors as much as possible. It just helps it all come together. All right, so what's going on with her mouth? Why does that feel not so? I just hate that bottom lip. I don't know what's going on with it. Um, Problem solution. There's something liberating in ways about just painting over something you're not happy with. So, ooh, that's actually it's an idea. Don't know how much I'll entertain that idea, but that is an idea. Like, what if we did that? What if we, huh? Nah, that's just laziness, I think. Um, oh, I can't paint a mouth at this angle. You know what I'm gonna do? Just paint over it. No. No, if I'm struggling with a mouth at this angle, then I'm gonna take the time to figure out what's going on. Is it 3D model time? Good question. Time is it? Is it 3D model time? Um, Core shadow time. That's what we're gonna do. Core shadow time. Yay, core shadows. Core shadows save everything. Not true. Does look nice though. I will say that dropping just a messy core shadow in there did a lot. More than I expected it to. Core shadow time. What is this? This is a hands. Why does it sound like you're drawing paper? I don't know. Oh, can you hear the so I do have a really I use rock paper pencil, so I've got like a I don't know if it'll focus on it. I've got a it's like a ballpoint pen tip. It's sharp metal, and the screen protector is removable and scratch proof, but it's got a matte texture to it. It's very expensive, and I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I actually got it to do a product review of, um, which will be released sometime soonish. Um, but yeah, it's way better than I expected it to be. I was like, there's no way that this spiky metal tip is not going to scratch the ever living crap out of this screen protector, but it does. Like, or it doesn't. It's very good. It's very, very good. So that's why it sounds like I'm drawing on paper. Sorry, I can't hear it because my music is too loud in my ears. I've got it turned down for the YouTubes. Can you hear the music, or is it too quiet? I will keep glancing over to see if anyone gives me a response. If the music's too quiet, I'll turn it up. If it's not too quiet, awesome. Oh, it is very satisfying. The sound of the yeah, and the feel is really amazing too. Like it actually feels like you're drawing with a mechanical pencil or a ballpoint pen on a not okay, sweet. Um, excuse me. Again, this is the second time I've had to just gently dab. But yeah, it's it's a very satisfying tactile experience. Now this is version 2 of rock paper pencil. Version 1 I didn't get to use, but it got not so great reviews. So they were like they did a super quick iteration and fixed it as quickly as possible. Oh, all right. And I'm glad the music's good. Awesome. So, so one of the really cool things, like I'm an Apple convert. I'll say that right now. I am an Apple convert. Screaming person. Head back. I'll Google search to get some images, but yeah, Apple convert here. Uh, something I really love about Apple is the fact that I can look something up on my phone and then copy it and then paste it onto my iPad just like seamlessly. It's really nerdy and cool. Um, and I did put screaming person, even though I am painting a woman here because I'm afraid of what lists I'll be added to if I just start Googling screaming women. That and uh, depending on my safe search settings, I may end up getting images that I don't want. Well, looks like I'm getting ready to get added to a list. Yes, I'm an Apple convert. Like I was always very so there's a very long story there. Back in my college days, early like this was early MacBook Pro days. Like I got one of the one of the earliest MacBook Pros, and I was a graphic design major at the time, so I thought I had to have a MacBook. Like I had to have an Apple because Apple devices were so awesome for designers and artists. And then a photographer friend of mine at one point was like, Do you need a Mac to run Photoshop?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Then what are you paying for?" Oh, okay. But this was like 15. This was many moons ago. Um, and then I got an iPhone like like 2011, so also many moons ago. And once I finally got an Android device, it was just so customizable, and I like to tinker. So I was like, all right, yeah, screw Apple, screw Apple, and I'm an Android Windows guy because I can tinker with both of those things, and I like to play with Linux, and yeah, all things nerd. Uh, all the way up until about a year and a half ago, whenever my drawing tablet for my laptop bit the dust. Once that happened, I was like, okay, well, I hate being tethered to a laptop to draw. I'd like to sit on the couch and draw with my kids. So I got an iPad. And then I was like, okay, well, if I have an iPad and I'm really enjoying the experience, I'll go ahead and get an iPhone. And as a tattoo artist, being able to like quickly take a photo of my client's body part, paste it into Procreate, and on draw on that photo during my consults, like completely changed my workflow. Like I am able to just quickly show people what their tattoo is going to look like after I actually get to painting on it and drawing on it before they ever leave the studio, and it's really awesome. Okay, struggling here, finding a screaming woman with her head tilted back. Um, I did bite the apple. Yeah, yeah. Oh, snap. Oh, it's blurry. Oh, that might actually be good. Okay, so this is an image from Getty Images that I am going to use as a reference. Just gonna paste it in here real quick. And paste private because I don't like having my references pop up. Come on, copy image. I don't like having my references pop up whenever I do a time lapse. Pasting from my phone. It's not gonna work. Look at that. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, and it's awesome, and so super duper cool and stuff and things. There we go. So, blurry image here. Um, I want to flip it, rotate it back. We'll use this as a reference. But I don't like having my references pop up in my time lapses, so I usually paste in private. This is not me encouraging you to trace and cheat on the time lapses. So full transparency here, since we're talking about tracing. For commercial projects, aka tattoo designs, efficiency is important. Um, so if necessary, I will trace a reference to speed up the process for creating a tattoo design. I think that's an acceptable use of tracing. Oh, well, I just copied and pasted this on like the actual layer. um, so it's going to show up in the time lapse. That's okay. So use case, tracing for commercial projects to increase efficiency. I'm okay with. I'm never going to shame anyone for that. I'm never going to shame anyone for tracing anyway. Like, whatever helps you make good art, freaking do it. This is not a debate on what real art is. All right, so this is where we started today. After a few minutes, this is where we're at. Actually, I really love how expressive it's getting very quickly. Kind of surprised at how expressive it is very quickly. Um, didn't take much. Cool. All right, just making sure I've got the right tool selected. Very nice. Um, but whenever I make personal art like this for prints, well, I guess that's technically a commercial purpose. But I'm making prints for me, and if they sell, awesome. If they don't, also awesome. I enjoyed the process. But it's also a learning experience for me, so I don't want to like short myself. It's the best way I can put it. I don't want to short myself of a learning opportunity by tracing while I'm making prints. Um, but to each his own, or their own, to each their own. She looks like she's screaming in joy, which is not a bad thing, I think. I don't know what this is, but it's going by my merge down. Yeah, so I committed to the changes that I've made. Getting brave with it, but it also lets me liquefy some stuff with less effort. By the way, you can liquefy um, multiple layers at once in Procreate, which is really flipping cool. Like, that's not something you can. Let me pause before I say something stupid. I don't think that's something you can do in Photoshop. I'd have to look on my laptop over here, but being able to liquefy like as many layers as you want together at once, I thought was a really cool feature and not something I'd ever tried to do in Photoshop. So I don't know. Bringing this ear down, the jaw up. Let's make the neck a little. Oh, this is stylized, so I don't want to make the neck too thick. There we go. Pose wise, that actually looks better and more dynamic. So Brad, Brad, um, I'm gonna say Bradicles, as if it were a Romanish inspired name. Where you from? Actually, something else really cool you can do in Procreate is Southern Africa. Very cool. So you like I apologize for being very American here, but you sound Australian. I think it was an Australian comedian who mentioned that. I can't remember who it was. So, just focusing on shapes here. How is it? How is it living in Southern Africa? Like, you are experiencing what should be win, like on the verge of winter at the moment. Yes. hemisphere and all. Has the weather gone sort of absolutely mad for you guys as well? Think of where these shapes would actually land. Alright. That's actually looking pose-wise better. I think I'm getting a little too tight and no. I'm on eraser for some reason. I think I'm getting a little too tight and controlled with this. Like, how can I loosen up again? Zoom out. I like that shadow shape. So I'm gonna mimic it. Stop listening to music while I draw. Uh, it depends on the music to me. Um, so there are a couple of things to consider here. Lyrical music tends to distract me quite a lot. But I'm also frequently drawing on a person and having a conversation with them at the same time. So, um, it's been decent training and desensitization for me to be able to draw under many different conditions. I still have a lot of difficulty thinking while I'm having a conversation about what I'm drawing. So, sorry, words got mixed up there. I have a lot of difficulty thinking about what I'm drawing while I'm having a conversation. Um, I can still very often tattoo while having a conversation just because the thinking portion is during the design phase of a tattoo for me. So I don't struggle with that part of it anymore. Um, but if it comes down to a part of the tattoo where I'm confused about what I drew or the stencil, then um, talking with my client is the enemy at that point. But in terms of music listening, I can listen to instrumental music while tattooing, or sorry, while drawing all day. That doesn't that doesn't phase me at all. If I'm listening to new music that I'm unfamiliar with and I'm interested in the lyrics, yeah, That'll distract me quite a lot. Instrumental music, yeah, not a problem. Especially if it's instrumental music that I've listened to a lot. One of my favorite things to do while designing a tattoo is actually putting, well, while designing a tattoo or painting a print, is to put one song on repeat that is somehow related to what I'm designing or painting. So actually starting this idea and collecting references and doing the sketches for this one, it was all about, ooh, I don't like that silhouette anymore. It was all about the song Move by Thousand Foot Crutch. I think I'm running into the same issue with this as I earlier. Damn. Let's bring this up. Fit the form. We're still getting that shape. Yeah, I think so. The highlights right here are very important to communicate what's going on. I need to get some more of the shadow shapes in there to communicate. Like the chin. There's a darkness right here, not a highlight. There's a darkness right there to show the lip coming down and away. I think I've done the nose too small and too much of a bridge. Ah. All right. When struggling, flip it. All right. Oh, not copied and pasted. I should have. There we go. Push down. Hmm. All right. All right. Telling you, when you flip something around, it completely changes what you're able to see about it. Also, drawing upside down. It's an old trick. Works really well. It lets you start to ignore the anatomy of what you're seeing and just pay attention to the shapes of what you're seeing. Let's pick up a mid-tone. Well, not a mid-tone, but darker than what I've been doing tones. Mhm. It's really sculpting. This is very, very sculpty. So the cool thing I was telling you about earlier with the liquefy multiple layers, here we go. Look at that. Bridge, bring that eye out. It's looking a little more accurate to the reference, but I'm actually not too concerned about copying the reference. I just wanted that scream expression to look better. I hope I was somewhat helpful with my response earlier. I know you were asking, like, does music help? To me, yes. To everyone, I'm not sure. Like, honestly, I hate generalized advice. There are very few things in life that can be generalized. Um, I would advise you to just try everything you hear and see what works the best for you, because what works for you will work the best for you. And that sounds like a cop out. Um, I can tell you what works for me. So for me, music, instrumental music really helps. Um, Now, what I'm playing for the live stream is not what I would normally listen to while I'm drawing. I listen to a lot of bands like Apocalyptica and video game soundtracks, things that are copywritten, which I get in trouble or get in trouble with if I play on live streams. Oh shit! All right, I think I finally hit that stage where I'm getting results that I'm happy with in terms of what I'm putting on the page. I don't want to overdo the detail in the face again because I'm focused on like the expressiveness of it. Having some clearly defined edges for these teeth. And the mouth and the nostrils, basically the clearly defined edges that make a face. All right, I feel like her jawbone got, well, her cheek right here has no form to it. Like expressiveness or no expressiveness, we're getting some weird distortions in there. So I'm gonna come back and first try to fix like the overall form. Is that a little better? A tiny bit. Why is it always the face? Like it's always the face where you get in and you're like, something's not right. Something's not right. Well, I know why. Because we recognize faces. Faces are easily identifiable, and when you mess one up, it's more than just a little obvious. It is immediately obvious when you mess up a face. Like that's what we spend all day looking at is other people's faces. So it pays to get the face right. All right, so getting a little bit of the like nostril and brow, getting some shape. Focus on the big shapes. Big planes. we're gonna go very dark. Oh, it music's repeating. I know it's on random, but I don't want it. Here we go. So most of the tracks that I'm playing are from an artist that I really like on Epidemic Sound. It's Hitami Tsunami. Um, got a lot of good feedback about them. So not only do I like their music, lots of other people like their music. Ooh, should not have done that. Too expressive. Okay. No. Let's actually work on the brow. So, strong brow. Oh, that's actually, let's see. Where did we start? Sort of there. Then we merged down, got rid of the mouth altogether, decided to redo the face based off of a reference, which is much closer to what I had hoped. Uh, get some darkness into that corner. Uh, Apply an ear. Does that look right? Ah, it's like a screaming laughter now. I like it. We'll smudge a tiny bit. Not a huge fan of the smudge tool most of the time, but I'm sculpting a face, so gonna do it. And I do want to bring some of these crazy colors in because I like crazy colors. So to give it a little bit of unity. Um, there's no reason to get boring with your colors. Have fun with them. It's the values that make something readable, not the color. So as long as you've got a clear separation of values, you can do lots of fun things with color. As long as you're not going like super super crazy with contrasting colors with the same value or well, yeah, same value, high contrast colors. That can hurt the eyes a little bit. Um, eeh. Like I've got that background dark and desaturated, but it's still red. And then I've got these cool blues that are a little more saturated, and then some purples that are like in your face saturated. That's the kind of fun I like to have with color. That last stroke was a little too much. There we go. Was that? That looks all right. Let's. I know I said I wasn't going to do much with the hair. I lied. I am going to expressiveness it. Oh man, I've been going for about an hour already. Cool. I'll take it. Again, just trying to get some similar colors dropped wherever I can. Sampling from the image. Really helps you push some unity with your colors. It's color theory 101. Try to use the same colors, limited color palette over and over and over again. What's kind of cool though is like with layering and sampling, you can basically get an infinite variation of colors by just layering and sampling, layering and sampling. Let's see. So that's a nice core shadow. I would like another core shadow running along this side. Don't need that anymore. She looks like she's screaming and rejoicing, which is the whole point. I selected black. Let's shrink it. A strong silhouette. Let's apply some fingers. Let's make sure that the count's right so no one accuses me of getting uh, making AI artwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thumb. All right. Now this one's going to confuse people because of the pose of the hand. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Oh, that one's a little short, honestly, and a thumb. But I really don't care if it's a little short. Oh. Ugh. Right. I gotta say, let's flip it. So if you're struggling, flip it. And if you're happy with it, flip it. And you'll see things that you missed on the other side. I don't know. I'm actually pretty happy with the face. It's messy. Like it's intentionally messy. Her head, the skull looks too big now. Just from having that shape in there. Does that fix it? Yeah, but now her neck looks too long. Ah, the process. So, Whoa. All right. Does that fix it? I'm gonna say yeah. I just heard. Oh, yeah, someone coming in the main lobby. Not of the tattoo shop. Like we share the lobby with a tanning salon. But it is approaching the end of our live stream today. I'm just gonna. Oh, I'm still on the multiply layer. Yeah. Gonna fill in some gaps here from where I moved her head. Hmm. Let's go ahead and stay out for a somewhat quick work of this. Not that I'm rushing it, but this is the. No, I'm just gonna take my time. Like my mantra for the morning: no hurry, no pause. No hurry, no pause. Just keep going. Is that my phone making noise? I have no idea. All right. Scream and rejoice. I even had my references pulled up over here lately. So another thing that's like a useful little hack, for lack of a better term. How did that work? That doesn't look great. What happens if I combine down? Nope, still doesn't work great. She is having the ultimate concert experience. This was actually supposed to be like the original pose. I talked about it last week with someone who tuned in. Um, the original pose is based off of Taylor Momsen doing some head banging. Good old Cindy Lou Who turned crazy rocker chick. Um, totally lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Um, what I like to do for most tattoos, or well, most artwork in general is have 3 layers basically. So and within those layers, many other layers, obviously, but uh, you've got your foreground, middle ground, and background. Um, right now, I've got middle ground, which is our rocker girl here, which I will group everything just because 'tis time to group everything. Let's move that up. Alright, that all looks nice. So I just took a copy of the old stuff, like I like to copy and then merge and copy and merge and do stuff and things. Um, so here's our background, and then our rocker girl is middle ground, but currently foreground. I like to bring something, anything, even if it's just some splatters into the foreground to, whoa, that's not what I wanted. No, that's also not what I wanted. Actually, let's look at some of these comic template things. So I picked up like manga tones and backgrounds. That looks like it could be interesting. No. So just something in front of everything else. It doesn't have to be super loud. Do that on its own layer. Oh, I made my own version of this brush. Here we go. So this one follows the tilt. I believe it's got a little bit of a random effect to it as well, in terms of the texture, which I like. Let's have her hair not get too covered up. Give it some randomness. Light pressure. Looks not too shabby. I like it. I like it. Got a little more expressive today. Like by a little bit, I mean a lot more expressive. Um, I don't know. We might work on this one more time next week. I'm gonna let it sit and see what I think about it. Um, Overall, I'm really happy with the progress for today. And yeah. Ah, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. I'm glad that I have some people to talk to most weeks now. When I started doing this, it was not it was just like me talking to nobody, but that's okay. Like I just kept doing it. Um, I see something that I want to do to it next week. So tune in next week. I'm glad that glad I hope to have more people. I love talking, even if I get distracted. Um, it's just it's good to know that people are tuning in and enjoying what they're seeing. So thank you, Brad. Brad, I'm gonna call you. Is it okay if I call you Brad? Is that like your name, Brad? I'm Josh. But thanks for tuning in. I want to go meet with a client. Um, think about what I want to do to this next week, and actually, maybe, hopefully, possibly, have a game plan for the approach next week. Yeah. Yep. Take it easy, everybody. I'll catch you soon, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, Bradley. Thank you for tuning in, Bradley.